Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta jump on the train now. Now is the time when old Finep dog jumps on the train, and I don't normally do this with a lot of characters, but I just gotta say this right now, yo. Like one time, carrot for Straw Hat. Okay, carrot for Straw Hat after this chapter 888, I believe it's 888 of One Piece. Carrot just shot up the ranks for me. I ain't gonna lie. The Minks as a whole just shot up the ranks for me because like we already knew that there was something with the Minks and that they weren't ordinary or whatever, and it also showcases just the level of building coming from, you know, prior to us crossing into New World and like where we're at right now. Like even tribes out of nowhere, some abandoned tribes or random little, you know what I'm saying, they come up and they can be monsters, and I was like, Carrot is a monster. Now, let's talk quickly about the whole thing of Carrot for Straw Hat, for example. A couple people are saying, no, there's naysayers already in regards to that because they're like, okay, this is a great power and she showcased some immense strength in this chapter, but you gotta wait 30 days for a full moon, so she gets one good day and then the rest is annoying. Well, let's look. Obviously, it's not to the same level or the same extent as Carrot, but Chopper, when he first got into One Piece, remember when he could only access that incredible power of that monster form by using the Rumble Ball or whatever, but like he took too many, or I forgot exactly what it was, the one that he could not take, and he took it and he would lose his mind or whatever. Then eventually, as time progressed, he was able to use that form. I think it's still at a condensed time, but nevertheless he can go into that form as well. So maybe the same thing can happen with Carrot, where eventually possibly get it to a point where she could use it at will, but then there's a downtime. Maybe it could be something along the lines of she creates a fake moon. She knows how to envision the moon or something like that and can go into the form here and there easily, right there, bam, problem solved, as far as like her being only useful essentially every 30 days. And again, Chopper had a similar situation, not to the same level of extent, but it was similar. And look, now Chopper, he's a beast, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure Chopper in this one, he was like, what is this? What's going down here? This feeling like, when he was saying Carrot, because Carrot just was like, bam. I was like, we got Super Saiyan 3 up in here. That's what I felt with like the long hair and everything. Now obviously I'm joking, I don't mean like they're copying or whatever, but it was just so freaking cool. Like that was awesome. I give it Carrot for Straw Hat, people. Now, I ain't gonna lie, is it just me, or did anybody else feel in the beginning of the chapter like, did I miss some pages? Did I skip a chapter? What the hell's going on? Because all of a sudden, Luffy and Katakuri are back at each other's faces about to go at it. I'm like, wait a minute, last time I checked, Luffy, wasn't he with Brule? Like, what happened? I'm guessing what happened there, and again, it's just supposed to be like, you're supposed to catch on quick apparently, but I'm guessing what happened there is probably the editors, or Shueisha, or from the polls, whatever, they came in and it's like, bro, One Piece is starting to go down a little bit on the votes, you know what I'm saying? Dude, go back to that, because I was disappointed heavily, I ain't gonna lie, when we strayed away from that. I'm like, I'm loving this fight right now. I want to see when Luffy's finally gonna get whatever it takes, you know what I'm saying? And we got like a little bit of a, I guess you could argue, training or preparation for round 2, and that stuff, it was kind of like, so I think that's what happened. They came down on Oda, or Oda himself got bored of it and just said, screw it, we're gonna cut between Luffy leaving and arriving at Katakuri, or vice versa, whatever. So like, yeah, did we miss something? No. But so chapter starts off and already got me hyped, because I'm like, that's what I want to see anyway. Screw it, however it happened, we got here. And then Luffy is a monster. I love the fact that Katakuri can talk shit and Luffy will talk it right back. I'm like, this is so epic and amazing. Now, honestly, based on where we was at and how we got a flash forward, I'm imagining somewhere in between there. The reason we got a flash forward is because Luffy figured something out. Either again, an awakening or another of the gears. I think a new gear will be very, very soon. I think maybe 2 more arcs from now we could get a new gear. I think right now it'll probably be something to do with his haki or something along the lines of that. That's just my theory. Or again, awakening his devil fruit, which that would be interesting to see Luffy awaken that. I don't know how it'd be done, but I definitely think that was the time where he figured out whatever he's gonna figure out for the upcoming round 2 with him and Katakuri. And again, it was just like, That's how you start off the chapter. Yes, Luffy versus Katakuri, the stuff that we actually really wanna see. You know what I'm saying? So, great way to start off. Now, the whole thing of, because again, Big Mom, it's weird. I feel as though for like the past month or two, even though it's more interesting now than it was, but for this being her big arc, all of a sudden, like, after a certain point, not that she's like a weakling or anything, because obviously, hello, that's Big Mom, she's a Yonko, like, how dare me, and she showcased that Luffy ain't nowhere near her level, or anything like that. But it just feels as though she's been downplayed a little bit as the arc has progressed, because she just went from like, you know, don't mess with mama to, she's crazy, woo, run. So I would like eventually, within the next month or so, to for this stuff to be cleared up with Big Mom. I kind of want Big Mom to come to her senses already and figure out what's going on, because it's like, damn. But let's talk about the old weight. I'm guessing that whatever's going on with Big Mom right now, losing the weight has something to do with straight up the food. Either if she overeats or undereats, or when she goes into that manic state, maybe she uses too much of her energy and too much of her haki or whatever. Who knows? But I definitely think that's something to do with she's being drained right now, which honestly, it would be a anticlimactic way, in my opinion, for Luffy to win. But potentially, if she's this drained and Luffy and her run into each other and Luffy can take her down, all it would take is that, and for the news to spread around, and Luffy will have become the man, either the fourth Yonko or the person to take down a Yonko, which would blow his name up. Again, as readers and all the build-up and everything for Luffy to finally defeat a Yonko, it'll feel a little bit like, what? But that could very well be the way that Luffy does take down Big Mom, because one thing that's on my mind, and again, there's things that are happening behind the scenes, but with Big Mom, like, she's such a monster that whatever she puts her mind to, as of right now, nobody really can stop her, right? So her revenge against the fishmen and against everybody down there is going to be massive if they get away. So I'm still wondering how that's going to be put at bay, especially if Big Mom is like, I went through all of this because of Jinbei. Oh, I don't care about nothing. I'm doing it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see exactly why Big Mom has lost all that weight. Again, I think that a lot of it has to do with the craziness, this ravaging psychopathic mode that she's in right now is what's really making her like, oh shit, you know, like, her body is just draining. I mean, you even see some of the bullets that was being shot, they were like just completely missing and stuff like that. Like, definitely Big Mom is at her wit's end probably. It's either the hunger or just when she craves for one particular thing and can't get it for so long, she's just losing weight or something. I don't know. It's gonna be, again, interesting to see why the hell Big Mom is kind of a slim mom right now. And that's probably the mode that she has to take every time she be, you know, digging down, or I guess digging from one of the 45 baby daddies that she got out there. Like, I can't remember how many, but Big Mom, she was at work, and maybe this is the form she takes so that way, like, they can get, I don't know. I'm talking craziness right now. Aside from that, we got to see another one of the children, one of the big players of Big Mom's sons. I believe he was the third one this time, if I'm not mistaken, because I think he's above Oven. Because the first one is Katakuri, the second one was Cracker, so I think this guy was the third one, and he kind of looked like Frankie to me a little bit, his character design. I don't know, he kind of resembled Frankie for some reason. He seems like he could be cool, he seems like he could be interesting, but we're again not getting that many of these big fights aside from what Luffy fights. Again, I want to see Sanji throw down with either Oven or this dude or somebody, you know what I'm saying? So we're gathering up all these really cool fighters, and we're seeing again some of the siblings we've already seen in this arc showed up, and it's like, I want to see some badassery with her kids. I've been loving what Katakuri's been doing. Katakuri ain't no slouch, and a lot of her kids, they're freaking strong. Kind of curious though, what did you guys think of the chapter? What do you think about Luffy versus Katakuri? Oh, again, you know, resuming the match, you think Luffy's learned something new? Did you feel like me that, holy shit, did I skip a chapter or a page or something, because it just kind of went from, hey, last time he was talking next to Brule, you know, tied up with her, all of a sudden he's back in front of Katakuri. Did anybody else get thrown off by that? Also, what do you think about the other son, the third son, I believe, of Big Mom that we've seen in this chapter? Do you think we're gonna actually get any more fights with any of her children aside from the fights Luffy has had? Like, are we gonna get a Sanji versus somebody, or even Chopper was trying to throw down this chapter? Like, are we gonna get any more of those? And Carrot, like, my gosh, I don't think I talked enough about Carrot in this video, but what do you think about that transformation? Personally, that just makes me think of the Minks so much higher, you know, the cat dog. I'm looking at them in a whole different perspective, and at the same time, if I'm not mistaken, the way they worded shit, basically, they possibly could have taken Jack if they tried. If they worked together, they could have taken down Jack. So they ain't nothing to fuck with, and Jack is up there in Kaido's army, so Carrot, I'm loving it. I'm glad that the full moon happened like this. You know, there was theories that Pedro was gonna come back to life via the full moon. Don't do that, but giving Carrot a power up, hells yeah, especially as epic. Like, I'm gonna say it again, Super Saiyan 3, bro. Super Saiyan 3 Carrot, I fucked with it all day. And your overall thoughts of the chapter, honestly, wonderful, phenomenal. I loved it, and it's so cool that One Piece, and you know, sometimes you gotta throw this out there because it is true. One Piece can take brand new side characters, because that's what Carrot really is, you know, a brand new side character, and still make them have epic moments and almost excite you as much as like if one of the main cast of the Straw Hats, for example, was to have that. Like, Oda, Goda, the genius. Yeah, but that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and do a little stalking on my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day.